Hi friends, my name is Maruti. I'm the co-founder of Cracku. I am an alum of IIT Bombay Computer Science and I graduated in 2008. After that we started Cracku in 2014. Recently we have launched a course for JEE. We have launched a course for JEE Mains. We are launching a course for JEE Advanced also. So this is a 30-day plan for students who are preparing for JEE Advanced of this year. The JEE Advanced date is known to all of you. It is on May 17th of this year. It will be conducted in two sessions. There will be paper 1 in the morning and paper 2 in the afternoon. This I think is known to everyone, but just for people who don't know, I'm just giving you all the updates. There will be around 51 questions in paper 1 and 51 questions in paper 2. That is 17 questions for each of the section. Paper 1 is for 180 marks, paper 2 is for 180 marks. So overall, the total score, that maximum that can be scored by a student is 360 marks. Now, let us get started. Let us try to see what can be done in the last month in the preparation for JEE Advanced. Now, again, looking at the marks that are needed to get a good seat, like we discussed, the total marks that are available to be scored is 360 marks, 180 in paper 1 and 180 in paper 2. If you want to get into IIT Bombay Computer Science, which is one of the most sought after branches, you need to score around 300 marks. Anything more than 300 marks, I think will be good. This is for the general category. The closing rank is in the early 60s. There will be around, I think, 30 seats, and there are around, it closes at around 66. If you're looking for any branch in IIT Bombay, if you're looking for IIT specific, if you are interested in IIT Bombay, which is considered to be the best IIT, you can get a rank of around 8,300. This was the closing rank last year. And for that, you need to score around 150 marks. 150 marks will be approximately 42% of the maximum marks that can be scored. If you're looking for any of the top 7 IITs, you know the top 7 IITs, if you're looking for any seat in the top 7 IITs, probably you will be looking at IIT Roorkee, and the last closing rank in IIT Roorkee was around 11,000. And to get a rank of 11,000, you need to score approximately 120 marks. Because the total marks is 360, 120 marks will be around 1/3. So you need to get 1 out of 3 marks correct. If you're looking for a seat in some IIT, any IIT is fine, any department is fine, then you are looking to score around 90 marks, which is 25% of the maximum marks. And last year, last rank for general which got a seat in any IIT was 18,000. Let us now look at the important topics that you have to focus on in the last 30 days if you're looking for JEE Advanced. Now, I have categorized this across the 3 subjects, maths, physics and chemistry. And I gave approximate weightage that were given in the last few years in JEE Advanced. If you're looking at maths, the most important topic is calculus. So I would recommend you to focus a lot of time to prepare calculus, practice a lot of questions in calculus. Approximately 30% of the weightage in maths is given for calculus. In addition to calculus, other topics like say probability, vectors, I think coordinate geometry, complex numbers, these all make up around 10% of the remaining paper. But overall, the big chunk of questions come from calculus. Other than that, I would say if you're not comfortable with calculus, topics like say probability, coordinate geometry and complex numbers are not very difficult. If you get a sense of it, and these are also present in mains. So if you're comfortable with that, I would say don't ignore calculus completely, but whatever is your strengths, try to maximize on that. But again, like I mentioned, don't ignore calculus, at least know the basics of calculus, so that if some question comes, which is in a topic that you're comfortable with, you should be able to get it correct. If you're looking for the important topics in physics, mechanics, which is basically the foundation stone for all the physics for JEE, both mains as well as advanced, is also the most important topic in advanced. Around 20% of the questions come from mechanics. The other important topics like say electromagnetism, modern physics, sometimes optics and thermodynamics also come for around 10 to 15% individually. Amongst this, I would say topics like say thermodynamics are not very difficult. They are basically slightly formula based. Similarly, even electromagnetism, I would say even though it feels complicated, it is mostly formula based. Some questions in mechanics can be very tough, but the questions from the other topics might be slightly formula based as compared to questions in the remaining topics. Next, if you're looking at chemistry, chemistry questions can be divided into 3 parts: physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. Roughly, I would say all of them are equally important, but organic chemistry might be slightly more important than the others. So around 35 to 40% comes from organic chemistry, 35 to 40% comes from physical chemistry. Inorganic chemistry maybe around 20 to 30% comes. So slightly on the less important side, but overall if you think about it, all 3 are equally important. Next, if you're looking at the important topics, named reactions is, I would say, very important. S and P block elements, functional groups, electrochemistry, all of these are important, but the named reactions are very important. They come for around 20%. And in general, the syllabus for chemistry is so vast that it is difficult for us to really say that, okay, this one topic is very important. So I would actually say that amongst the three topics, which are organic, physical, and inorganic, whatever is the topic that you are very interested in, at least try to cover 2 out of these 3 if you are trying to get into some IIT. In this slide, we'll be discussing the topics that are asked in more detail in JEE Advanced as compared to JEE Mains. We are looking at the topics in both maths, in all the 3, maths, physics, and chemistry. In maths, I would say vectors, conics, calculus, series, complex numbers, and induction applications, I think is important. In addition to it, I would also say that there are certain topics in maths, even though the conceptual understanding required would be slightly higher, they are definitely on the easier side. So for example, if you're getting a question in say matrices or trigonometric functions, those are questions you should not leave. Similarly, I would even put complex numbers in the same category, even though the complexity needed might be slightly more. Still, it is not, I would consider them to be on the easier side of all the remaining topics. So these are the topics I would recommend you to put in more effort. Similarly, if you're looking at physics, important topics like say optics, optical and EM instruments, semiconductors, mechanics, as expected, it is very important both for JEE Mains as well as JEE Advanced. The only thing, I don't want to demotivate you, but the only thing I would want to say with respect to mechanics is the complexity of the questions that can be asked in mechanics can be very, very tough sometimes. So, but on the other hand, for example, even thermodynamics, even though it is the conceptual understanding for JEE Advanced is required to be quite high, still I would say certain topics like say thermodynamics are definitely on the scoring side. Next, if you're looking at chemistry, I would say the syllabus for chemistry is so vast. There is organic chemistry, physical chemistry, and inorganic chemistry. So the amount of topics that are required to be covered also is vast. But still, these we have put as some of the more important topics for JEE Advanced as compared to JEE Mains. Topics like say aromaticity, chemical kinetics, stereochemistry, solid state, electrochemistry, all of these I would say are definitely the more important topics for JEE Advanced. We also prepared a week-to-week study plan for JEE Advanced. In the first week, we want you to cover all the topics which are of the most importance in both maths, physics, and chemistry. For example, again, it seems like I'm repeating quite a lot, but calculus in maths has the highest weightage. So this is the topic I would want you to spend most time, especially at the start, because at the start you would not be as nervous, you will also have more time, you will also be a lot more motivated, and because the exam is still slightly far away, you would not have the jitters which might come to you in the last 1 week or so. So at the start, if you're putting in effort in the more important topics, I would say it is always a good thing. Second week, go to probability and vectors. Third week, go to coordinate geometry, complex numbers, and quadratics. These I would say are amongst the easier topics. Fourth is matrices, trigonometry, and functions. These also I would say at least matrices and trigonometry are definitely on the easier side. So these 2 weeks, even though these are important topics, I would consider them more or less on the easier side. The first 2 weeks I would say are slightly on the tougher side. So I would want you to do the more harder work at the start as compared towards the end. In physics, mechanics, like we mentioned, is the most important topic. So focus on it in the first 1 week. Then go to electricity, magnetism, and EM induction in the second week. In the third week, go to thermodynamics, theory of gases, and modern physics. And in the last week, focus on optics and waves. I would say the fourth week, optics and waves, I would say are slightly on the easier side as compared to all the remaining topics. In chemistry, go for more concept, thermodynamics, and chemical kinetics at the start. Second week, look at electrochemistry, atomic structure, and functional group analysis. In the third week, look at chemical bonding, polymers, biochemicals, hydrocarbons, all of this. And in the last week, go for periodic table, look at all the SP, DF kind of elements. This again, I would say is slightly on the easier side as compared to all the remaining weeks. In the last 3 days, I would say don't go for any new topic, focus more on formulas, focus more on revising the previous year's papers. All the previous year's papers are actually there, uploaded on the Cracku website. You can go through it. We have detailed solutions also for each one of them. So in the last 3 or 4 days, don't try to start anything new. Try to focus more on the mental side of things. Try to keep yourself calm. Try to focus on maybe just remembering some formulas, going through some previous papers. Try to solve some questions. But more important is focusing on the mental side of things in the last 3 or 4 days. So that on the day of the examination, you are completely ready. You are not super nervous. Try to basically go through that image multiple times of you sitting in front of the screen and solving the paper. Because I would say that would, on the day of the examination, if you have gone through the same scenario multiple times beforehand, on the day of the examination, you will not be as nervous. One last thing I would definitely tell you is use the weekends well. The big difference between JEE Mains and JEE Advanced is that JEE Advanced will test your stamina. There are 6 hours, you have to sit in front of the computer for 6 hours and you have to solve it. It is a test not just of your mental aspect but also of your physical aspect, because you have to be like fully on. You should also have that energy to last throughout the day. So I would definitely recommend you to spend each weekend from now till the examination doing one previous year's papers on week 1, week 2, week 3 and week 4. Try to take the paper on Saturday, try to take all the 6 hours and try to spend Sunday analyzing the paper, figuring out where you went wrong and what are the mistakes that you made. Is there any topic that you are lagging behind? Are you committing any silly mistakes? So all of those things I would want you to thoroughly analyze on Sunday, but definitely take all the 6 hours at the same time period. You take the examination one paper in the morning and one paper in the evening, so that your body is finely tuned to delivering peak performance on the day of the examination. These are the timings for the slots. I'm sure you all know, but otherwise I would want to tell you that paper 1 is in the morning from 9 to 12 am. This is 12 noon. And paper 2 is from 2:30 to 5:30 pm. Whatever mock you're taking, take it in the same time period, so that at 9 am your body knows that you have to take a mock or you have to give a paper. Similarly, at 2:30 pm after lunch, try not to have a very heavy lunch when you're taking a mock, because you don't want to feel sleepy and all. You would want to give your best performance on the day of the examination. Yeah, other than that, I would want to tell you about the exam strategy on the day of the examination. There will be questions which will be very tough. Nobody, I think very rarely do people score full marks. So focus not on the things that you don't know, but on basically the things that you know. We expect that at least 30% of the paper will be easy, 40% will be medium, and 30% will be hard. So don't focus on the hard things. Don't feel demotivated if you're not getting a few questions correct. I actually know one person who could not solve 6 questions consecutively in maths, which was his strong point, a few years back in JEE Advanced in paper 1. But after coming out of the paper 1, he was very confident and he basically motivated everybody around him that he's going to do very well in paper 2. It was not even that his parents were motivating him. He was a very confident guy and he was motivating his teachers and his parents that he's going to do very well in paper 2. And he also said that the reason I couldn't attempt 6 questions on the trot was because the paper itself is very difficult. So he had so much confidence in himself and he did very well in paper 2 and he finally secured a single digit rank. So basically what I'm saying is, even if you're not getting certain questions correct on the trot, don't let it demotivate you. Focus on the things that you can actually do. So focus on the 70%, which is definitely not going to be difficult. This 70% will be easy to medium. So focus on getting those questions correct. And other than that, I would also tell you that even though time is not necessarily a factor in JEE Advanced, it is always good to pick the right questions. So if you are stuck in some question, don't waste a lot of time on it. After a couple of minutes, if you feel that you're not making any headway in the paper, try to go to the next question, try to skip this question and try to go to the next question. Don't get stuck in any particular question and waste a lot of time on it. Finally, one last thing I want to tell students, this is especially for students who are preparing for JEE Mains of 2027 is, we have launched a daily target. You will get one test in maths, one test in physics and one test in chemistry. These are 3 free tests every single day for 6 days a week from Monday to Saturday. These are small tests. They will not take you more than 10 to 15 minutes to complete it. One of the things that I've noticed is, in my experience as a teacher who is preparing students for these examinations, is consistently preparing every single day helps students attain a sense of discipline, inculcate good habits, and also improves their speed and accuracy over time. Consistent effort also helps them feel more confident about their own preparation. That is one of the reasons we have launched the daily targets. If you want to access these daily targets, these are completely free for students on that particular day. You can just check the description. The link for the page is given in the description of this video. Otherwise, you can just Google search Cracku JEE Daily Target. Once you Google search Cracku JEE Daily Target, you will get the link for it. Just click on it and go here. Definitely attempt it. We have hundreds of students who are already practicing these daily targets on a daily basis. Once you Google search Cracku JEE Daily Targets, you will get to a page like this. These are the daily targets. These daily targets are free on that particular day. So if you go to the daily target page, you can take these tests today. For example, today's test in mathematics is on determinants. The test in chemistry is on periodic table, and the test in physics is on unit and measurement. These are 3 tests. Each test will take you not more than 10 to 15 minutes. Definitely attempt it. These will be very useful for you. Cracku has been started by me and Srikanth. We are both alums of IIT Bombay Computer Science. We started Cracku a few years back, and now we are starting preparation and helping students do well in JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. If you like this video, please do like it and share it with your friends. If you have any doubts with respect to preparing for JEE Advanced, please do comment below this video. I will look at all the comments and I'll try to help you to the best of my ability.